The S&P 500 daily cloud chart shows the bottom of the cloud 26 bars back for Monday the 9th, starting at 4355.53 and continuing on for several days at that level. And in the S&P 500 daily chart, where I get those horizontal lines and the ranges, you can see the upper range in light blue and the lower range in light blue here, no man's land in the middle. And there are some uptrend lines in there too, still one that's quite valid here. Also in there is the 21 EMA through the 200 EMA moving averages, including all the simple moving averages, and you can see in the thumbnail that that solid blue 20 simple moving average is at 4357.17. And all of the moving averages from 21 EMA up to 50 simple moving average right here in green are all still in downwards trajectories, so they'll be moving downwards for at least a few days and could meet price on the way up if it can get out of the lower range in light blue here, and of course that's at 43.25.28. And the disqualified trend factor down 2 is right there too at 43.51, and a move above that for price and a close above it will stop these trend factor downs, and we'll have to build a new one wherever price ends up to the upside. So this is a big level here, 43.51, and again coincides with the cloud at 43.55.53, 26 bars back concerning the lagging line. And zoomed in a bit, the upper stark band is near that level 2, 43.49.81, and climbing, so that could be up in the 43.50 area soon. The channel 3 high, 43.52, and there's the 20 simple moving average in solid blue, 43.57.17. all concerning this bottom of the cloud 26 bars back here. So the lagging line hits that, and it's going to have all sorts of resistance in current price. And if those levels here in current price can hold back price for a few days before it blasts up through it and starts pushing the envelope up again, then we'll be looking at this baseline 26 bars back concerning the lagging line 44.38.41, and that will be there for several trading days here. And there are many support and resistance levels up there, mainly resistance, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it if price can blast through this area and this bottom of the cloud. And blast it just may do, because it doesn't get any better than this report where everybody was looking at the worst case scenario. It turned out to be the best case scenario. Look at that U.S. unemployment report added double of the jobs that they were predicting here. And the unemployment rate stayed the same as before. But this is the biggie here. U.S. hourly wages ticked down. They were expecting a tick up. It stayed the same as the previous level. but the hourly wages year over year, they were expecting a tick up, and it ticked down from year over year 4.3 to 4.2, and that was the skyrocket fuel there to blast off. And the conversion line 4274.57 should be pretty good support, as it is near the 200 EMA at 4265.53, this dashed green line here. So we'll be paying close attention to this area for tomorrow and the next several days, actually, 4355.53. And if it looks like it stalls and slams into a brick wall, that could be the selling / shorting opportunity there. If not, it's a low risk area to short. And then if it blasts past that and starts moving up past that, just jettison it, and let's focus on this area next up here, 4438.41 for the stall here. And price did print the combo and sequential sell setup 1 count. And to negate that, for end of day on Monday, there must be a close below 4229.45 for the price flip back to the buy setup count 1. Keep going. We need the royal flush, meaning let's get the sell setup count 9 to print. We'll get to those Fibonacci retracements in a minute, but they're surely in the way. So if price can get the royal flush again, the sell setup 9 count, and then head up to print the sell countdown 13 up here somewhere, maybe even above the cloud, who knows. But it has a lot of room to move, so this is 2 needs to stay above that, 3 needs to stay above that, 4, and this would be 5, and if it can just incrementally keep staying above the 4 bar back close and print the 9 end count, and then keep going and get to the 13, that's the royal flush. So the D wave, down wave 4, will print on a tick higher than this high, 4375.25, and its 61.8 Fibonacci projection / retracement level is the 61.8 at 4406.11. So if it can print and then move through 4406.11, it will be validated and printed. Keep blasting to the upside and get above this high, 4540.82, and tick higher than that. Then the D wave, down wave 2, will shift over and replace the D wave, down wave 4, and it will start the D wave, down wave 3 over again, and the print will be D wave, up wave 4, and D wave, down wave 2 for D wave up here, and then keep blasting and get above this high, 4607.07, tick higher than that, and the D wave, up wave 5 will print up here, and zigzag move down to the low of the bar on the 6th here, and that certainly was warranted, as there was a way higher high. So a few more higher lows and higher highs, for that matter, should put the zigzag at the swing point here at the D wave, up wave 4, this low here, and get the swing point to the upside. But that's at least 3 or possibly 4 more bars, and that could coincide with battling this area here, 26 bars back, the bottom of the cloud, and failing there and heading back down, and this combo by countdown 12 still comes into play to print the combo by countdown 13. This sequence disappears and will be negated, and all that has to happen is to print the sell setup count 9 to the upside, and it doesn't get any more perfect than qualifying this supply line that was really close to becoming disqualified. So by blasting this high, it surpassed the previous day's buying pressure and printed. That is really quite a feat of strength there. So now in the perfect world, it needs to open higher than this close on Monday and tick higher than this high and close higher than this close on Monday, and we'll get a supply projection to the upside somewhere up here. And if those cards pan out, I wouldn't be surprised if that coincides around this area here, 43.55, or maybe a little above it. Things really head south all of a sudden on Monday, get below this ongoing demand line, which is at 4221.45 for Monday, and that becomes qualified. And same thing with this, keep going south and get below 4151.55, and that becomes qualified, worst case scenario. And the arc down 3.618 level is right below that first ongoing demand line, plus myriad support that we've been talking about these past few days, still around the same area. So see the previous videos, they're not too far off from these lows still. And I have to correct myself, this sequential by countdown 13 has reached the 12 bar metric, and what that really means is there's no upside associated with that anymore. So I've been talking about downside associated with it, and this really went beyond this 13, went down here. So that was actually supposed to go up, and it didn't. So no more upside potential associated with that, and we're about to have some more upside, and it won't be because of this level here, this by countdown 13 completion, and the disqualified buy risk level associated with it is still valid and should be pretty good support, 4290.16, and that will disappear when we get the royal flush, starting with the sell setup 9 end count, and this will stop traveling with price. So it will stop wherever that 9 end count prints, if it prints up here. And the long-term oversold P alert down printed, and put your contrarian hit on as down means up. You can see over here, this is the pressure down, which is up here, and this is the pressure up, which is down here. So hopefully what this is telling you is that we're going to have upside to get back to the pressure down up here. First, this slow trigger ATM needs to get above its oversold 25 line here and start moving up. And the fast trigger has done nice here, got above the overbought and is still on a slight upwards and to the right trajectory. So we got to watch out for when or if it prints the red here. It will print eventually, it's just a matter of when. This went on for a while here, and then it printed and headed down. So let's see if the slow trigger up can meet it up here like it did on this run from the basement up. But during that run, the pressure down had a feeble attempt at up here and just stayed up and then came right back down and settled in here, pressure up negative 2.0. So that was quite lame here. We got to watch that for this possible run. And the most important takeaway from this chart is the 13 by countdown complete reaching its 12 bar metric. It's been 12 bars since it printed, and that's not going to be associated with any possible upside anymore. And the only thing really helping the upside is the fact that the buy setup 9 end count for combo and sequential did print down here, was perfected. So it had a bad start here and is now printed the 1, so that's the only help it's going to get here. And the way to treat this for possible upside by the book is to wait at least until the combo and sequential cell setup 3 or 4 count prints somewhere up here if it prints. And then if it does that and keeps moving up, then get on board. But by then we're going to be hitting that brick wall, so it's best to just wait. And to add more reinforcement to this redoubt over here, 43, 55, 53, I planted the relative retracement level down at this low since it's moving up so nicely, and that's right above that area 4365.67, and that will be resistance until that gets qualified and confirmed. And the baseline and current price is right near there above it, 4378.64. So get above the baseline, qualify and confirm this level, blast past the bottom of the cloud and start pushing the envelope up. Then it's up to that area that I was talking about earlier. Here's the relative retracement is qualified up to 4457.58. So that will be the next area here. Keep blasting up, get above the cloud, get this qualified and confirmed. This magnet level here, 4537.41, is in line with this close back here on July 27th, 4537.41, and that means we got above the high here just about 4540.82, or we're getting pretty close to that area, which is important for the D wave, down wave 2 area to possibly shift over and replace the D wave down wave 4 if we make it up that high.